Hi, boys and girls. This is Dr. Hammerman. I'm sending you this review, which I would like to be able to send you every week on either Wednesday or Thursday, so you could have a few days to look over before our next session. So you will always see a little video window of me here, and this will be the text window, and we're going to study from the text. And this is the first page of my handout. So I would like you to mark in your calendar with your parents that the regional exam is going to be taking place in Montreal on March 4th. And then the finals will be in Toronto on May 3rd, 4th, and 5th. However, we first have to pass the regional to make it there. We are now going into Bereshit, Genesis, chapter 12, and I'm going to open the full window so you will be able to see the entire text, and I will give you some material for review. So, God said to Abraham, Lech lecha, okay, get you out of the country, your birthplace, your father's house, to the land which I will show you. And God makes promises. One, I'll make you into a great nation. I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing. So there's four things that God promises: bless you, make your name great, great nation, and your name will be a blessing. I will bless those who curse you. I will curse those who curse you, and all the families of the earth will be blessed through you. Who went? Abraham did what God told him. Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he went out from Haran. All these are possible questions that could appear on the contest. How old was Abraham? Where did he go from? Who was with him? Etc. And then, Vayikach Abraham took his wife Sarai, his wife, Lot, his brother's son, what we call today his nephew, and all their substance, which means all their belongings that they gathered, and the souls that they had gotten in Haran. And they went to the land of Canaan, which was the biggest tribe in the land of Israel. So the land was called the land of Canaan, Eretz Canaan. Abraham passed through the land to the city of Shechem, And the Canaanites lived there at the time. God appeared to Abraham, or Abram is more correct, and promised him, unto your seed, namely your children, I will give this land. And Abraham built an altar to God who appeared to him. And he removed himself from there, and he went east of Beit El and west of Ai, and he made his tent in between them on the mountains east of Beit El and west of Ai. He built there another altar. So we have a second altar. And he called the name of the Lord. That may be that he prayed whatever prayer meant in those days. And Abraham traveled, journeys, haloch v'nasoa hanegba, going on still towards the south, towards the Negev. And I told you that symbolically, wherever he went, he took possession. There was a famine, there was no rain, there was no food, and Abraham went to live in Egypt because the famine was too great. When he came close to Egypt, we have a bizarre story. He tells his wife, I now realize that you are beautiful. Okay, in English, I know that you are a fair woman to look upon. Isha yefat mar'eat. You're pretty to look at. And when the Egyptians see you, they will want to kill me so that the Pharaoh can have you. Please tell them that you're my sister so that I will benefit. This is not very nice because Abraham sacrifices his wife to the Pharaoh and he is willing to lie for his own benefit. They arrive in Egypt. Everybody sees how beautiful she is. Pharaoh's officers take her, tell Pharaoh how beautiful she is, and they take her to Pharaoh's house. He dealt well with Abraham for her sake. Namely, the Pharaoh was nice to Abraham because he wanted a sister. And he gave him all sorts of gifts. Of course, through these gifts, that promise that God just gave Abraham at the beginning of this chapter gets fulfilled. He is becoming a great nation. He is becoming wealthy. He is becoming successful. In those days, success was not how much money you had in the bank, but how many sheep, etc., you had, how much livestock you had. But now something is happening miraculously. Pharaoh is getting all sorts of punishments, plagues, because of Sarai, the wife of Abram. And Pharaoh called Abram and said, "What did you do to me? Why did you tell me that she is your sister when in fact she is your wife?" And Pharaoh kicks out Abram, okay, gave men to charge concern. They brought him on the way and his wife and all that he had, and they sent him away from Egypt. That's the summary of chapter 12. When we meet on Monday, we will do chapter 13. If you have a chance to read it, that would be nice. Okay, this is the story where Abraham is very successful, Lot is very successful, and their shepherds are fighting over pasture land. And one says to the other, "Too much." So Abraham says to Lot, "Lot, you are my nephew. Whatever you want, I'll do for you. If you go to the right, I will go to the left. If you go to the left, I will go to the right. But we're family. Why should we fight?" Verse 9 in Hebrew, Im hasmol ve'emina, ve'im hayamin va'as me'ila. If you take the left hand, I will go to the right. If you take the right hand, I will go to the left. Notice that Abraham and Lot are separating, and it has to be that way because God is about to make a promise, a covenant, a promise forever with Abram, and they need to be separate, so it should be clear that the promise was made with Abram and not with Lot. We will then read what the promise is. We will continue this next week. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.